Have you ever wondered why a man who clearly seems interested suddenly pulls back? Why he begins to observe you more closely, almost testing you before he truly commits? This is not random or accidental, it is instinctive. Men do not simply fall into love without thought. They observe, they evaluate, and they test. Not to play mind games, but to protect themselves and to find something genuine. A strong man is not searching for just any woman. He is searching for the right woman. He looks for trust, respect, and loyalty. He looks for someone who will not crumble under pressure, someone who can stand beside him, not behind him. And before he opens his heart, he needs to know one thing. Are you that woman? Today, we are breaking down the tests a man puts a woman through before he truly falls in love. A man will always test a woman's patience before he allows himself to fall deeply. This has nothing to do with manipulation or intentionally making her wait without reason. It is about watching how she handles the natural pace of building something meaningful. Men, especially those who are serious about their future, do not rush into love. They move slowly because they understand that real love is not built overnight. They want to see whether a woman can allow things to develop naturally or whether she is pushing for immediate results and constant reassurance. When a woman becomes impatient, repeatedly asking where the relationship is going, demanding emotional confirmation before he is ready to give it, or expecting instant commitment, a man notices. To him, this signals insecurity rather than confidence. And a man does not fall in love with insecurity. He falls in love with certainty, with a woman who trusts the process. Patience is not only about waiting, it is about how a woman carries herself during that waiting period. A man pays very close attention to this. He notices if she becomes anxious when he does not reply immediately. He notices if she questions his feelings when he is not constantly reassuring her. He notices if she starts making assumptions, reacting emotionally, or trying to force a connection that should grow on its own. When this happens, he realizes that she is more focused on securing a relationship than on truly understanding him as a person. And that becomes a problem, because love is not about possession. It is about connection. And real connection requires time. A woman who trusts the process shows confidence and emotional stability. She shows maturity. She understands that a strong man does not want to feel pressured. He wants to feel inspired. He also wants to see how a woman handles uncertainty. In the early stages of any relationship, there are moments where things feel unclear. Maybe he takes longer than she expects to open up emotionally. Maybe he does not immediately say, "I love you," or talk about the future. Maybe he needs space to sort through his own feelings. During these moments, he is watching closely. He observes whether she panics or assumes the worst, or whether she stays calm and grounded, allowing him the freedom to reach his own understanding. A woman who remains steady during uncertainty shows that she does not depend on constant validation to feel secure. She is self-assured, and that quality is deeply attractive to a man who wants something real and lasting. When a man senses that a woman is patient, that she does not need to control the timeline or rush the bond, he begins to feel safe with her. He feels that he can trust her. He feels that he will not be pushed into something before he is ready. Most importantly, he feels respected, and respect is essential. A man does not want to feel as if his worth is measured by how quickly he commits. He wants commitment to be his choice, not a reaction to pressure. He wants to choose love because the woman in front of him has shown him that she is worth choosing. That difference matters more than most people realize. A patient woman understands that if a man is truly meant for her, she does not need to chase him or force him into a decision. He will naturally move toward her when he feels emotionally ready. There is also another side of patience that many women overlook: the ability to endure the quiet parts of a relationship. Not every moment will be exciting. Not every day will feel passionate or romantic. Real relationships include calm days, ordinary routines, and moments that feel simple or even dull. A man wants to see whether a woman can appreciate those moments without needing constant excitement or emotional intensity. If she always seeks drama, stimulation, or emotional highs, he will see her as someone who is chasing the idea of love rather than the reality of it. But if she can value the steady moments, even the slow ones, it shows that she is invested in him as a person, not just the feeling of being in love. Men also test patience by watching how a woman responds to challenges. Every relationship will face obstacles, whether they are differences in opinions, outside pressures, or personal struggles. If a woman is quick to walk away the moment things are not perfect, a man understands that she is not prepared for something deep and lasting. A patient woman knows that strong relationships require effort. She does not expect perfection. She does not demand instant solutions. She stays grounded, willing to work through difficulties rather than escape from them. This kind of resilience makes a man feel safe enough to fall in love. He knows that choosing her means choosing someone who will not disappear when life becomes difficult. Another way men test patience is through their own internal struggles. Every man, no matter how confident he appears, will experience periods of stress, doubt, or emotional withdrawal. When this happens, he watches how the woman reacts. Does she take it personally and assume he is losing interest? Does she pressure him to open up before he is ready? Does she try to fix him or demand emotional availability on her timeline? Or does she give him space while still offering quiet understanding and support? A patient woman understands that sometimes a man needs to pull inward before he can fully reconnect. She does not panic. She does not try to control his emotional process. She remains steady, trusting that if the connection is real, he will return with greater clarity. In the end, patience is one of the strongest signs of emotional maturity. A patient woman shows that she values depth over speed, quality over urgency, and long-term connection over short-term reassurance. She does not need to force love because she understands that real love is built over time. And that kind of woman is the kind a man falls deeply and irrevocably in love with. Not because she demands his heart, but because she respects it. And in that respect, she creates the space for love to grow naturally and fully. A man needs to feel that the woman he is with respects his thoughts, decisions, boundaries, and above all, his identity as a man. Without respect, love cannot truly grow. One of the first ways a man tests respect is through how a woman communicates with him, especially during disagreements. When emotions run high, does she maintain a level of decency, or does she resort to sarcasm, belittling, or outright disrespect? A man notices if she talks down to him, corrects him publicly, or dismisses his opinions as unimportant. This is not about a fragile ego. It's about seeing whether she views him as an equal partner or as someone she needs to control. If a woman constantly mocks him, makes fun of him in demeaning ways, or speaks negatively about him to others, he takes note. To a man, respect is not just love, it is honor. Another key test is how a woman responds to his leadership and decision-making. A strong man does not seek someone who blindly follows him, but he also does not want a woman who argues with him over every choice. He wants a partner who can challenge him thoughtfully, with intelligence and grace, not with hostility. If she dismisses his ideas, ignores his input, or insists on having things her way, he sees a lack of respect. A man values a woman who shares her perspective in a way that builds rather than tears down. When she says, "I hear you, but here's another way to see it," instead of, "That's a silly idea," he notices. She is showing that she respects his mind while expressing her own, and that balance is powerful. respect is also tested in public. Some women, trying to be playful or assertive, make jokes at their partner's expense in front of others. While light teasing is fine, a man observes whether she makes him feel supported or embarrassed in social settings. If she constantly corrects him, highlights his mistakes, or makes him feel small, he questions whether she truly respects him. He wants to know that his woman will stand by him both privately and publicly, that she is proud of him rather than needing to diminish him to elevate herself. A man also watches how a woman treats his time and priorities. A man with goals, ambitions, and responsibilities needs a woman who understands and supports that. If she constantly demands his attention, dismisses his need to focus on his career or passions, or acts entitled to his time without consideration, he sees that as disrespect. He wants to know that she values his work, ambitions, and responsibilities, not as obstacles to her own desires. A woman who encourages his growth rather than making him feel guilty earns his respect and admiration. Respect is tested in how she responds to his vulnerabilities. Society often expects men to be strong, unemotional, and always in control. But men have fears, insecurities, and doubts. A man watches closely how a woman reacts when he opens up. Does she listen empathetically or dismiss his feelings? Does she use his vulnerabilities against him later, or create a space where he feels safe to be himself? A man will only truly love a woman who respects both his strengths and his weaknesses, because she has the power to build him up or tear him down. One of the clearest tests is how a woman behaves when upset. It's easy to be respectful when everything is going well, but conflict reveals true character. When emotions run high, does she lash out, insult him, call names, or give the silent treatment? Or does she express herself firmly but with dignity? A woman who remains respectful during disagreements shows emotional maturity, and that is the kind of woman a man will commit to. A man opens his heart only to a woman who respects him, not just at his best, but also at his worst. Not just in words, but in actions. Not just when it's easy, but when it's challenging. Love without respect is empty, and the woman who understands this is the one he chooses to stand beside for life. A man will also test a woman's independence before he commits. This is not because he doesn't want to care for her, it's because he needs to know she can stand on her own. A strong man does not want a woman who relies on him for happiness, self-worth, or security. He wants a partner, not a burden. He wants to know that she has her own purpose, her own goals, and her ability to navigate life independently. One way he tests independence is by observing how she spends her time. Does she have passions, interests, and ambitions outside the relationship? Or does he become her entire world from the start? If she abandons everything, cancels plans, neglects friendships, or puts her life on hold, he notices. At first, it may seem flattering, but quickly it raises concerns. He does not want to be the sole source of her happiness. He wants to be part of a full, balanced life. When he sees her pursuing her own direction, dreams, and life beyond him, he respects her more. Men also test independence through financial responsibility. This does not mean he expects her to be wealthy, but he wants to see she can care for herself. A woman who relies on him for every expense sends the wrong message, that she is seeking a provider, not a partner. A man of value will not tolerate this. He wants to know that if life changes, she would remain strong and stand by him, not because of what he provides, but because of who he is. A woman who manages her finances responsibly, contributes where she can, and does not expect him to fund her lifestyle, demonstrates independence, which is highly attractive to a man seeking a serious, committed partner. Emotional independence is another major test a man puts a woman through. He pays close attention to how she handles stress, disappointment, or setbacks. Does she fall apart the moment something goes wrong? Does she constantly rely on him to solve every emotional problem? Or does she have the ability to manage her own emotions, process challenges, and find solutions on her own? A woman who depends on a man for emotional stability becomes draining. He starts feeling like her therapist instead of her partner. But a woman who navigates her emotions with maturity and strength shows that she is not looking for a man to complete her, but to complement her. That difference is critical. Men also test independence through small periods of separation. He may take time for work, friends, or personal reflection, and he observes how she responds. Does she panic, assume he is losing interest, demand constant attention and reassurance, or does she respect his need for space and focus on herself? A woman who handles these moments without insecurity shows that she is whole on her own. She does not need validation every second. She knows her value. That confidence draws a man even closer. Another key test is how a woman pursues her own ambitions. A man notices if she has goals and actively works toward them. Whether it is her career, a passion project, or personal growth, a woman with ambition shows she has purpose beyond the relationship. A man does not want to feel like he is the only source of her life's meaning. He wants to see that she wakes up with drive, focus, and commitment to personal development. A woman dedicated to her growth becomes naturally more attractive. A final test comes when a man faces challenges. Life is unpredictable, and there will be times when he is stressed or emotionally unavailable. He watches whether she can stand strong independently. If she collapses the moment he is not fully present, he sees a red flag. A strong woman knows she can support her man without depending on him for her emotional survival. She can uplift him when he is down without adding to his burden. That kind of woman is rare. Men do not fall in love with dependence, they fall in love with strength. He wants a partner who stands beside him, not leans on him, who has her own path and vision. A truly independent woman chooses to be with a man out of strength, not necessity, and that choice forms a powerful foundation for a relationship. Emotional stability is another critical test. This is not about expecting perfection or the absence of feelings. Men understand emotions are part of life, but unchecked emotions can harm love, trust, and harmony. He observes closely how a woman manages her feelings, especially under stress, disappointment, or conflict. Emotional stability is not just about keeping peace. It is about showing maturity, grace, and self-awareness while handling life's ups and downs. One way he tests this is by observing her reaction to frustration or stress. Life presents challenges, from work problems to personal setbacks, and he notices whether she handles these with resilience or becomes overwhelmed. Does she spiral into negativity, lash out, blame others, or let emotions control her? Or does she pause, breathe, and approach the problem with clarity? A man needs to trust that his partner will remain steady when pressures rise. Another test is how she manages conflict in the relationship. Every couple experiences disagreements, but the way they are handled matters. He notices if she resorts to emotional manipulation, passive-aggressive behaviors, or dramatic outbursts. Does she give the silent treatment, explode with insults, or bring up unrelated issues to hurt him? Or does she communicate honestly and with control? A man respects a woman who expresses herself without creating chaos. He wants to know that they can face problems like adults, not fall into destructive patterns. Emotional stability is also tested through insecurity and jealousy. Every relationship has moments of doubt, whether due to interactions with others, time apart, or unknowns about the future. He watches whether she lets jealousy control her. Does she constantly accuse him, demand proof of loyalty, or assume the worst? Or does she trust him, understanding that relationships are built on faith, not fear? A woman who cannot manage jealousy or seeks constant validation will exhaust him, but a secure woman creates space where love can grow. She understands trust is a choice, not just a feeling, and allows him to be himself without suspicion. Another critical test is how she handles emotional pain. Life brings heartbreak, disappointment, or betrayal, and he observes whether she processes it in a healthy way or lets it consume her. Some carry past wounds into new relationships, holding grudges or comparing him to others. A man notices if she can heal, learn, and move forward instead of being trapped in emotional cycles. He wants a woman who can face pain with strength and still choose to love fully. Finally, men test emotional stability through how a woman reacts to his own struggles. They watch whether she responds with understanding and support, or whether she becomes overwhelmed and reliant on him for her emotional balance. A woman who can remain calm, compassionate, and steady while he faces challenges demonstrates maturity and reliability, the traits of a partner a man can fully commit to. A man, no matter how strong, will have moments of weakness, doubt, or emotional fatigue. He needs to feel that the woman he chooses will support him, not make things worse. If in his hardest moments she becomes another source of stress, demanding attention, making everything about herself, or reacting emotionally to his state, he will pull away. But if she remains steady, offering support without pressure, he sees her as an anchor in his life. A woman who can stand strong while he is struggling is the kind of woman he will never want to lose. At the core, emotional stability is about balance. A man does not seek a woman who is emotionless or robotic. He wants someone who feels deeply but can also manage her emotions with wisdom and self-control. He needs to know she can handle life's challenges, relationship conflicts, and personal insecurities without falling into destructive patterns. Love, in the end, is not just passion, it is peace. And a woman who brings peace into a man's life, even amid storms, is the one he will choose to love, honor, and commit to forever. Loyalty is another crucial test a man places on a woman before he allows himself to fully fall in love. Loyalty to him is not just about romantic faithfulness. It is about trust, commitment, and knowing that the woman he chooses will remain by his side no matter what. He needs to know that she will stand with him, not only in moments of joy, but also when life becomes difficult. He tests loyalty subtly, not to play games, but to ensure she is the type of partner who will remain true in all circumstances. One of the first ways a man tests loyalty is by observing how she speaks about him when he is not around. Does she defend him when others criticize him? Does she respect his name in conversations with friends and family? Or does she complain, belittle, or speak negatively about the relationship? A loyal woman does not degrade her man behind his back, even in moments of frustration. She understands that loyalty is expressed through words, respect, and integrity. A man notices how a woman represents their relationship to others. If she badmouths him, gossips, or exposes private matters, he will hesitate to trust her fully. Another test comes during difficult times. Every relationship encounters rough patches, financial struggles, career setbacks, or emotional challenges. He watches closely to see how she responds when he is not at his best. Will she stand by him, encouraging him to keep moving forward? Or will she distance herself, complain, or seek an exit when things get hard? A high-value man is not looking for someone who is only present for the good times. He seeks a woman willing to weather the storms with him. If she withdraws when life becomes challenging, it signals that her loyalty is conditional. Men also test loyalty through how a woman responds to attention from other men. In a world of social media, instant messages, and flirtatious interactions, he needs to know that she is not easily swayed by external validation. How does she handle compliments, flirtation, or subtle advances? Does she entertain them, even playfully, or does she make it clear she is committed to one man? Loyalty is not only about physical faithfulness, but also emotional exclusivity. A woman who respects the boundaries of their relationship, even when no one is watching, proves her true commitment. Another critical test is how a woman responds when he is not constantly available. Ambitious and driven men will have periods focused on work, personal growth, or responsibilities. He observes whether she supports his goals or resents them. A loyal woman understands that his ambition does not mean he loves her less. It is about building their future. A disloyal woman may become impatient, seek attention elsewhere, or try to guilt him into prioritizing her over his aspirations. He needs to know she will stay by his side even when he cannot give constant attention, seeing his growth as a shared victory, not a threat. One of the strongest tests comes when he makes mistakes. Everyone errs, and in long-term relationships, misunderstandings and failures happen. He watches how she reacts. Does she immediately run to others for advice, exposing private struggles? Does she hold his mistakes against him, using them as weapons in arguments? Or does she address issues directly, work through them, and remain committed? A loyal woman understands that love is about dedication, not perfection. She does not abandon her man for minor failures or use his flaws to tear him down. Instead, she works with him to grow together and strengthen their bond. At its core, loyalty is about trust. A man needs to know the woman he loves will not betray him, whether through words, actions, or emotional withdrawal. He tests loyalty because without it, no relationship can survive. A woman who proves her loyalty by standing firm during difficult times, respecting the relationship even when he is not present, and choosing him every day is the kind of woman he will never want to lose. Loyalty is not just staying, it is staying wholeheartedly through every challenge, every success, and every ordinary day in between. When a man finds a woman with that kind of loyalty, he knows he has found something rare, irreplaceable, and worth committing to forever. At its core, loyalty is about trust. A man needs to know that the woman he loves will not betray him, whether through her words, her actions, or by withdrawing emotionally. He tests loyalty because he understands that without it, no relationship can truly survive or thrive. A woman who proves her loyalty does so in small, consistent ways every day. She stands firm during challenges, respects the relationship even when he is not present, and continues to choose him not just in words, but through her actions. Loyalty is not merely about being physically present. It is about being mentally and emotionally aligned, about holding the bond sacred even when it is difficult, inconvenient, or when life tests the relationship in unexpected ways. It is about showing up even when it would be easier to walk away, about having his back when others doubt him, and about prioritizing the long-term connection over fleeting frustrations or disagreements. A loyal woman does not gossip about him, belittle him, or let outside opinions influence her devotion. She protects the relationship, safeguards its integrity, and approaches every conflict with the intention of understanding and resolution rather than winning or proving herself right. She knows that true loyalty is a quiet, steady force that does not demand recognition but builds a foundation of trust so strong that it can withstand any storm. A man recognizes this kind of woman immediately. He sees that she is rare, that her loyalty is not conditional, and that she is fully invested in building something lasting and meaningful. When a woman demonstrates unwavering loyalty, he knows he can give his heart without fear, that he can share his weaknesses, his fears, and his dreams without hesitation. He understands that with her, love is not transactional or temporary. It is enduring, protective, and profound. This kind of loyalty creates a safe space for vulnerability, trust, and deep intimacy, and it allows love to grow naturally without manipulation or insecurity. When a man finds a woman with this level of loyalty, he knows he has discovered something truly extraordinary, something rare, irreplaceable, and timeless. He realizes that her commitment is not born out of convenience or obligation, but out of genuine choice, strength, and care. This realization makes him want to reciprocate fully, to invest himself completely, and to honor the relationship with the same unwavering dedication she has shown. In essence, a woman who embodies loyalty in thought, word, and deed becomes the anchor of his life, the safe harbor where he can be fully himself and the partner he will never want to let go of. Her loyalty transforms love from a fleeting emotion into a lifelong bond, and it is in this rare, steadfast devotion that a man discovers the true meaning of partnership, trust, and unconditional love.